Remember watching kids shows back in the day, immersing yourself in the characters and going on imaginative adventures?
Yes, he's a chief, he's a king, but above everything, he's the most tip-top, top cat, top cat.
Kids shows then were not just only for entertainment purposes, but also for experiencing simple but unforgettable storytelling and hearing tunes whose captivating lyrics made it so hard to forget.
On the run, the stories of McBragg outrageous. No one could be more courageous. Underdog! Underdog!
The 1960s gave us some of the most interesting and educational kids shows ever created. Compared to now, where we have kids shows with little to no depth in storytelling, unrelatable characters, more humans than actual fictional characters, and no songs that we could sing along to anymore, just flashy captions and fast-paced action.
They're creepy and they're kooky, mysterious and spooky. They're all together ooky, the Addams Family.
These shows were memories that will never be forgotten. But have you ever wondered what happened to kids shows in the 1960s and why we no longer have a repeat of them? Well, let's explore 15 exceptional kids shows from the 1960s that not only defined an era, but in many ways outshine what kids watch today.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? We need some help from you now.
Number 15. The Adventures of Superman, 1952. Starting off the list is The Adventures of Superman. Even now, Superman is one superhero that cannot be forgotten. Even if you have not watched the show, you probably must have heard about Superman more than once. The story of a young boy who grew into a superhero and kept on saving every single time.
Adventures of Superman.
Daily Planet, I'd like to speak to Clark Kent, please.
Using his super strength, X-ray vision, and ability to fly, he could fight evil in Metropolis, protect the city, and also protect the Earth. This show captured the hearts of so many kids back in those days, through its reruns and even now if you get to watch it again.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky, it's a bird.
It's a plane!
It's Superman! Yes, it's Superman, strange visitor from another planet who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. Superman, who can change the course of mighty rivers, bend steel in his bare hands.
The different episodes and series simply showed the difference and taught kids the difference between good and evil, with Superman taking on cunning criminals, perilous natural disasters, and even a few science fiction-inspired threats. Unlike the complex superhero narratives we see today, this show relied on storytelling and heartfelt performances to teach us that justice and truth would always win in the end. Number 14. Captain Kangaroo, 1955. Moving on to the second show that we wish we still had now, we have Captain Kangaroo. For 3 decades, Captain Kangaroo warmed its way into the hearts of many of its viewers. And to date, no kids show has made such an impact as this particular show. Each episode featured games, stories, skits, songs, and other educational activities that kids could learn from. Whether it was reading picture books, solving puzzles, or sharing valuable life lessons, the show cultivated a love for learning that endured far beyond childhood. You're wondering why the title? Well, the captain was so named because he always wore an overcoat with large, kangaroo-like pouches. With his friends Mr. Green Jeans, Dennis, an apprentice handyman and do-it-all person, and Mr. Moose and Bunny Rabbit, and other characters that came along the way. Kids could learn about health, nutrition, physical fitness, and a lot more compared to now where we have a lot of kids shows without genuine human interaction. No wonder many still hold Captain Kangaroo as a cherished childhood memory. Number 13. Gumby, 1956. Next up is Gumby, the everyman superhero who leaves a place better than he had found it. This particular cartoon character is a blocky green humanoid made with clay, and it became known for this and its imaginative storytelling. What made Gumby special and unique from other fictional characters is its abilities and extra creativity.
He's here, and he will be sure to stay. Gumby, let's all see what magical games he can play. He can change into anything. With his pals, Pokey, Prickle, and Lou, he will walk through the wall if you want him to. When you're sad, Gumby makes you.
The show was created by Art Clokey. The series followed the adventures of Gumby, a friendly green clay character, and his loyal sidekick Pokey, a playful orange horse. Together, they explored worlds that brought everyday objects, books, and even toys to life. Episodes often featured Gumby and Pokey traveling through books, where they would enter different genres like adventure, fantasy, and history.
Hey, Gumby, you almost hit me. What's the matter?
I'm mad. That's what's the matter. I'm good and mad.
The stories and lessons from this show made it so relatable and fostered a sense of wonder and curiosity, encouraging kids to dream big and think outside the box. Little to no wonder why this show is greatly missed today and still on the lips of everyone across multiple generations. Number 12. Rocky and Bullwinkle, 1959. An American animated series that won hearts, taught lessons, and can still not be forgotten today. Compared to shows of today, where characters go the extra length to provide humor, the adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle provide this humor anytime they get to save the day. Rocky the Flying Squirrel and Bullwinkle would always find themselves in funny and perilous situations because of their dream career path. Their ambitions to become rock stars or find hidden treasures would always collide with the plans of the show's main antagonists.
A thunder of jets in an open sky, a streak of gray, and a cheerful...
A loop, a whirl, and a vertical climb, and once again you'll know it's time for the adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle and Friends.
Starring that supersonic...
These ongoing battles, week after week, kept viewers engaged and always looking forward to a new episode, which is one thing we would always miss about kids shows today, the element of suspense. The variety that came with this show was also one of things that made it stand out. From introducing segments like Peabody's History, Fractured Fairy Tales, and Dudley Do-Right. If you're an oldie here, you would remember all of these segments. All of these made everyone love this series a little too much. Kids loved the wacky characters, while adults appreciated the sly social commentary. All of these made Rocky and Bullwinkle one of the most interesting shows in the 60s. Number 11. The Flintstones, 1960.
Flintstones, meet the Flintstones. They're the modern Stone Age family. From the town of Bedrock, they're a page right out of his story. Let's ride with the family down the street, through the courtesy of Fred to Pete. When you're with the Flintstones, have a yabba dabba do time, a dabba do time.
The Flintstones gave us more than any modern show could give us. From their iconic characters to their interesting songs that you would always still hum even after the show is over. The Flintstones was the first animated sitcom ever aired during prime time. Think of it as The Simpsons of the 1960s, but with stone wheels and mammoth-powered vacuums. The show portrayed everyday life, dealing with jobs, friendships, and family in a funny way that kids loved, could learn lessons from, and adults found relatable. The funniest thing to note about this show is that it was an adult-targeted cartoon and the longest-running series of its genre then.
Dabba-dabba-doo. Yabba-dabba-doo! Yabba-dabba-doo, I love you!
First aired in 1960, this show showed us Fred Flintstone, his wife Wilma, and their daughter Pebbles, and their quirky neighbors the Rubbles, and how they lived in the prehistoric town of Bedrock. The antics of Fred and his best friend Barney Rubble were hilarious, whether they were forming rock bands, coming up with ridiculous schemes, or just trying to keep their wives happy. Their misadventures made every episode unforgettable and made it such a timeless series. Who could forget Fred's iconic Yabba Dabba Doo or the catchy theme song Meet the Flintstones? Number 10, Top Cat, 1961. Top Cat just had to be the Tom and Jerry of our own time, with all of that mischievous scheme it always came up with.
Top Cat, what are you up to now? I haven't seen you so clean since I frisked you for my lost citation book.
Oh, that's cute, very cute, Officer Dibble, sir. It's nice to know the long arm of the law has a funny bone. But for your misinformation, Dribble,
it's Dibble.
All right, Dibble, we just received this engraved.
It's funny how, despite all the mischief, Top Cat served as a model definition of cool for kids with its signature styles and seemingly clever ideas. This series simply portrayed Top Cat and his loyal gang as they tried to hustle their way through life.
Top Cat, the most effectual Top Cat, whose intellectual close friends get to call him TC.
Each episode is a fun blend of comedy and clever tricks, with TC constantly outwitting Officer Dibble, the well-meaning but exasperated policeman trying to keep the gang in line. Whether it was pulling off small-time cons or dreaming big, TC always kept his gang, Benny the Ball, Choo Choo, Spook, Fancy, and Brain, motivated and out of trouble sometimes. The series proved that simple characters, sharp writing, and a lot of heart could create timeless entertainment. And to date, the show still reminds us that sometimes charm and teamwork can take you a long way. Number 9, The Jetsons, 1962.
Meet George Jetson, his boy Elroy, daughter.
The Jetsons was one of those classic timeless shows that made kids hope and look forward to the future. It posed so many fun tech features, unlike now where it seems like most of the discoveries have been made. The Jetsons lived in a world with elaborate robotic contraptions, aliens, holograms, and interesting inventions.
Rogie Rose! Roy!
All right, calm down. It isn't like you haven't seen him for 10 years, you know.
But beyond the inventions, futuristic gadgets, and all of that, what made the Jetsons so exciting was the wild imagination it offered, the humor, and its relatability. Everything was instant and designed to make life easy and more fun. Meals were instant. Communication happened through video screens, way before FaceTime was real. And schools, work, and shopping all happened at the touch of a button. While most of these gadgets seemed like wild fantasies back then, many of them inspired the technology we use today. Number 8, Casper the Friendly Ghost, 1963. A friendly ghost? That's not one of those titles you would hear in modern times. When you hear about ghosts these days, all you'll probably think of is mischief, fear, and all of that. But Casper was a different kind of ghost. All he wanted to do was just make friends, be a good companion, and worm his way through our hearts.
Hello. My name is... Here you are.
Did he succeed? Of course he did. This sweet and gentle spirit captured the hearts of kids in the 1960s.
I'm the ghost that's known as Casper. I want to be a friend to you. I will try to make you happy. This is all you.
Even though he was often misunderstood sometimes, and people thought him to be a scary ghost, he would always find a way to win people over. Always teaching valuable lessons like being kind, genuine, and staying true to oneself. Number 7. Underdog, 1964. Can you still remember this tune? There's no need to fear, Underdog is here.
There's no need to fear, Underdog is here.
Time again for the Underdog Show, starring that champion of champions, Underdog.
This tune became one of everyone's favorite chants, leaving everyone feeling like a superhero in their own way. The animal characters lived adult lives, and Underdog was a shoeshine boy. But when trouble called, the superhero puppy would always save the day. His bravery and determination would always save the day, reminding us that even unlikely heroes can rise to the occasion when the need arises. With its humor, unforgettable tunes, and catchphrases, Underdog reminds us that you do not have to be perfect to be a hero. Number 6. The Addams Family, 1964. To date, this serves as one of the most interesting and weird family settings of all TV shows. But what stood out was how they each embraced their weirdness and stayed loyal to each other. This is one value system, and you'll hardly see them highlighted in shows today.
So get a witch's shawl on, a broomstick you can crawl on. We're gonna pay a call on the Addams Family.
Led by the suave Gomez and the elegant Morticia, the family included their children, Wednesday and Pugsley, their quirky relatives like Uncle Fester and Grandmama, and their ever-faithful butler, Lurch. To date, these characters have influenced comic books, cinema, and many more, proving to us that family love is more than any societal expectation. Number 5. Batman, 1966. At number 5, we have the iconic Batman, everyone's superhero. With each episode came suspense, thrills, and enough evidence to show us that good will always overshadow evil.
Did you ever notice how fast time passes when you're having fun?
How about sharing the fun with us, Pussycat?
A lot of viewers were hooked by the witty dialogue, dramatic cliffhangers, and unforgettable comic book style on-screen words like pow and bam, something not common again. Batman truly stood out as one of those TV series that hasn't gone extinct despite how much we've adapted and commonized superheroes in today's world. With Batman, it wasn't just about stopping bad guys, it was about doing it with style, clever gadgets, and the occasional moral lesson. Number 4. Banana Split's Adventure Hour, 1968. What do you get when you mix costumed animal rock bands, wild adventures, and slapstick comedy? This animation from way back introduces kids to goofy animals and a lot of musicals.
Banana Splits, brought to you by Kellogg's. Kellogg's puts more in your morning.
More nourishment.
More flavor.
More fun.
The show's catchy theme song, the Tra-La-La song, became an instant hit. You would hear it on almost everyone's lips. The costumed hosts are Fleagle, who plays the guitar in addition to his voice, Bingo for drums, Drooper for bass, and Snorky for keyboards and special effects. Packed with fun and creativity, this show was a perfect way to experience pure 60s nostalgia and still hold a special place in fans' hearts today. Number 3. Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? 1969. One of the most loved animated series of all time. Scooby-Doo is a fictional Great Dane dog who solves mysteries with his friends.
Like all we're missing is a big old scary shadow.
With its theme song that captivated hearts and left kids singing and dancing tunes.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? We got some work to do now. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? We need some help from you now.
The series followed Scooby-Doo, his best friend Shaggy, and their friends, Fred, Daphne, and Velma, as they traveled in their iconic mystery machine, unmasking villains posing as ghosts, monsters, and mysterious creatures.
You're welcome.
What made Scooby-Doo's character stand out more was how easily frightened, yet so courageous Scooby is. It was funny, yet so relatable.
When I say let go, let loose, and we'll drop down on the sofa. Go! Like this place is haunted. We let go, but we didn't fall.
Well, Scooby-Doo has grown from just being a cartoon to a franchise influencing countless other things.
Makes me so mad.
Velma, you did it again.
What, lose my temper? Yes, and found a way out.
Number 2. Sesame Street, 1969. From the 1960s till now, this show has revolutionized kids' shows in a way that has never been witnessed before. The way it blends entertainment and education is one standout factor in the show.
Oh, hey everybody! Hello there, this is your free little pal Grover.
It has reflected changing attitudes to developmental psychology, early childhood education, and cultural diversity. This show was one of the first of its kind to base its content on laboratory and formative research.
Imagine that! Oh, all these cookies. Be sure to have some imagination.
Ever since then, it has won 11 Grammys and over 150 Emmys, more than any kids show has received. Sesame Street created an engaging, playful world where kids would have fun while picking up essential skills, which turned it into a global phenomenon to date. Number 1. HR Pufnstuf, 1969. This was more than just a show. Imagine going on a timeless adventure to a magical island. Created by Sid and Marty Krofft, HR Pufnstuf was an interesting mix of vibrant puppetry, outlandish costumes, and trippy visuals that scream 1960s creativity.
Is a selfish word, yours is a thoughtful word, but ours is the nicest word of all.
Its theme, which revolved around friendships, humor, and smartness, sure left a mark on kids' imagination. For Jimmy being rescued by the dragon mayor of the island, to both of them teaming up to outsmart the Witchy-Poo's plans, this is surely one of those intriguing pieces we miss seeing on our screens. There you have it. 15 incredible kids shows from the 1960s that brought joy, taught lessons of life, showcased creativity, and reminded us why sometimes the good old days were better. So tell us, which of these kids shows do you think the world misses the most and should be brought back? Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to discover more about vintage America.